welcome to A Gypsy's Kiss. It's Friday Fenndango, and I'm Shelley Carney.
We found our music. And I'm Toby Younis. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have lots to do. We've got emails to read. We got text messages to read. We have voicemails to listen to. One from George, by the way. And then we'll open up the phone lines and see what you guys have to talk about. It'll be a fun night tonight, we think. And we're back.
We are indeed. We were here earlier today, and now we're back again.
Mm-hmm. We had a good time this afternoon.
We just got a cha-ching. Hey, look at that.
From Jason Dent, no less.
There it goes. Yeah. Cha-ching for $1.
Thank you, Jason. Make sure you ask a question, because that's what you get to do when you contribute to our program.
You get to ask a question even if you don't.
Small question. You don't like a dollar question.
No. Not the $52,000 question.
So, I got to do some housekeeping.
Going to say the secret word.
Housekeeping, you want towels?
Because you do. Actually, you need towels, right?
Everybody needs to have a towel. Didn't you see the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe? You got to have a towel.
You got to have a towel. Eso es importante.
Or read the book.
Before you leave tonight, make sure you take a moment to like our video. YouTube likes it when you like our video. No, it's not. Wait.
Oh, shoot.
YouTube likes it when you like our video. Share it with your family, friends, neighborhood associates, or neighbors, business associates, and social networks so that we can
grow
our channel. And then last but not least, make sure, well, actually it's not last but not least, make sure that if you're not already a subscriber, click that subscribe button. And when you see the notifications bell. Thank you. Click on the notifications bell, and that way, whenever we schedule a live stream or we launch a live stream, you will be immediately informed so that you'll be in the know.
In the know.
But don't forget, this is all about growing our channel. And then we do want to remind you that, you told me to remind them of something.
That if you want to write in the chat room to us, then you want us to see it. We've changed what you're supposed to do. So listen up. It's different. You got to do the @ A space Gypsy's space kiss. Now, once you do the A space, very often the Gypsy's kiss will pop up if you're on a computer. But if you're on a phone, you're probably going to have to type the whole thing in. So do your best.
And if you'd like to send us a text message before we get the show started, before we open up the phone lines, please use our toll-free number, 1-866-597-9901. You can also call that number right now and leave a voicemail if you care to. Later on, we'll use that number, open up the phone lines, and you'll be able to talk with us. And finally, don't forget that at the bottom of your chat screen, there at the bottom of your chat window, there's a stylized $sign like Jason Dent just used. And if you'd like to contribute to our project, click on that $sign, and you can donate from apparently 99 cents all the way up to $500.
Or like last night, and then $200. $200. Not last night, the other night.
Was it? No, it was Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. $200 from Larry Sandell.
Yeah, that was very nice of you, Larry. Thank you very much.
Record-setting amount.
Yeah, that is a record-setting amount for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because prior to that time, you know what, John Bobbitt needs to come back in and probably see if he can beat that.
It's been a while,
because he was the record holder prior to that time, so he lost his position as a record holder. So, okay, so tonight, emails, hello to the room, text messages, voicemails, and then we'll open it up to
cowbell.
Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Thank you, because we want to
grow
our channel,
and we want to play the cowbell.
Okay. All right, let's do our emails.
Try capital A odorous gnome. instead of small letters.
I'm doing this for you.
It's reading.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and talk to Odorous Gnome.
Odorous Gnome wants to know like this: a gypsy's kiss. Type it like this or with the apostrophe.
Not the apostrophe. Well,
But if you do a capital A, it should populate.
you need to start it with an @ sign. If you don't start it with an @ sign.
No space between the @ and the A. Heather Dawn.
Okay, I'm going to type it in
like
the chat
this,
room
like
so I can
this.
show you. Okay, it looks like.
Virginia Man got
Okay,
it. Look
Virginia
at Virginia
Man.
Man. It does need the apostrophe.
It'll pop up. I'm telling you. If you do.
Yeah, unless you're on a phone. It doesn't always pop up if you're on a phone.
Okay, if you type in that. Right, that's all. Look, are they going to let me?
Virginia Man says, my birthday is tomorrow and I only want one thing, the answer to where Warm Waters halt. It would be a great gift. Thank you. Well, in that case, the answer is the Warm Waters halt at the state line between Colorado and New Mexico. Happy birthday to you!
Okay, emails. I did the
Okay.
email video already, even though you talked over it.
I saw that. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, go. You're first.
All right. This is titled Treasure Location from Frank from Phoenix. Frank says, hi, Shelley and Toby. I am relatively new to the search, so I apologize if I'm asking questions that have been beaten to death many times over. Beat that question.
Beat that nasty question.
If so, please ignore my email. We would not do that.
We wouldn't do that. We love reading emails.
That's right. I am somewhat struggling with the issue of ownership of the treasure if it is found. I see obvious issues if Fenn had placed it on tribal lands, so I would rule that out. I am wondering if you could comment on the other types of land ownership, such as BLM, national park, state park, private, etc. I imagine there are as many opinions as there are lawyers, but one thing that keeps gnawing at me is Fenn's perceived antagonism toward dealing with the government. I know he has said he has paid a lawyer a lot of money to consider this issue before he hid the treasure, but stops short of saying that the finder would definitely own it. This brings me to one thought regarding private land, which is probably the only way he could guarantee the finder ownership, i.e., if he in some form of ownership actually owns the land, which would survive even his death, such that title to the treasure is contained in the chest, as an example. Would you also have comments on potential issues if it is on the other types of land? Thanks, and I really enjoy your show, even if you trash this email. Well, we won't trash it till after we read it.
Do you want to go first?
Well, we always said definitely not tribal lands because he doesn't want to mess around with tribal lands. It's just, it's not a good thing to do. It's not nice, okay? And it's not smart. So he wouldn't do that. We agree. As it comes to private lands, we would have agreed private lands are out until we heard Sassy's story about how David Blaine hid his treasure on a friend's property with that friend's knowledge and agreement. So we have to kind of take that back, unless it's private property that's marked no trespassing or something of that effect where absolutely you're not supposed to go there, then I would rule that out.
The only thing I'd add to that is not only did he have permission from the individual to hide it there, there's also laws. There was no barriers of any kind, like there was no fences up. It was out near the beach. And the other thing, too, is California has that unique law that says...
So was it for sale the entire time the treasure?
I don't think so. I think he
open?
hid it there.
Yeah.
And then at some point, the guy decided to sell the property
Right.
and move off of it.
Right.
So California has that law that Sassy mentioned that says if there's a property for sale, anybody has the right to go on and check it out.
But how would anybody
We don't
have done
have
that before?
You wouldn't have. You would have gone on the property, started tearing it up, and hoped the guy didn't come out with a shotgun.
Yeah. So we would be real careful about private property unless you happen to know the owner or it's for sale and your realtor takes you there.
This is the Southwest. Going on people's property is all, unless you know the people whose property it is upon. whether there's a treasure hidden there or not, is more likely to get you put yourself at risk. I can't imagine, Fenn knows the rules of private property in the southwestern states, and that is, it's not yours. Stay off of it. And there are some.
And if the owner doesn't know the treasure's there and didn't agree to it, then that's his treasure because it's on his property.
Right. In addition to that, I have family up in northern New Mexico, and they take their property rights. Some of them own that land grant.
See, Sassy says it was for sale for the duration of the hunt. So, okay. Thank you, Sassy.
That makes a big difference. And I have family up in northern New Mexico on both the Delgado and the Espinosa side, and they live around Abiquiu and Taos, and they take their property ownership seriously. I can't imagine that somebody would hide a treasure there and expect that it'd be okay with them, whether you had permission for them or not. If you had permission, the only thing that you're doing is giving them the opportunity to open up that to find the treasure on their property and claim ownership because it's on their property.
Yeah.
So I just can't imagine it was on private property. Yeah. When it comes to the other ones, we've discussed that in several videos in the past. National park lands have a strange set of rules. You may eventually get it back, but you're going to have to go to court for it. They're going to hold it up, and they're going to make you prove that it belonged to Fenn. Then they're going to make it prove that you belong to you, and they're going to make you prove that you didn't break any laws in acquiring it. And so national park lands, and there's 21 different types of national park lands. So make sure that you know which ones. We believe that the most likely places for it to be and state lands. The problem with state lands, any protected lands like state forests, every one of them has a different set of rules. We went up to Browns Canyon, which is a state park, and when I took out my drone, that ranger nearly had a heart attack. Like, it's a state park. Who cares, So, and they're not consistent from state to state to state. They all have different rules. At least in the case of the national parks, the rules are consistent. You can't take on, when it comes to drones, but the rules are consistent when it comes to treasure hunting or metal detecting. National parks, all the same rules. State parks are different from literally park to park. So we feel like it's most likely on national forest lands or on BLM land, both of which have the least restrictions on what you do inside of those areas. In national forests, you can hunt, you can cut wood, you can cut trees, et cetera, and they have very reasonable rules when it comes to metal detecting, digging in the ground, et cetera, that kind of stuff. So we believe not private, not tribal, not national park, most likely national forest or BLM. So there.
And thanks for your question.
And thank you for your question.
Frank from Phoenix.
So is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, this is entitled Dal or Dale or just mostly dull. I guess he's getting tired of the conversation. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's from G-Man. Not George. I can understand the theory of relativity, quantum physics, string theory, and probably more amazing, I understand how to assemble IKEA furniture. What has me puzzled is why the pronunciation of Dale Neitzel's name is so important. Since the pronunciation question is such a frequent topic, I must be missing the critical clue in his name that pinpoints where the box is hidden. In the Nordic language, does Dale Neitzel translate to longitude 107, 21, 20.24, latitude 37, 01, 25.61 in English? I am hoping someone can enlighten me, and if the long lat above is where the box is, I get half. I'm glad somebody can do something funny with that.
Yeah.
Gotta have a good sense of humor to write.
Did
like
everybody
that.
laugh? Did we have laughter on here?
We do have. No, we don't. We have
crickets.
applause.
Applause. Applause works.
No,
All right.
you made me get rid of the crickets.
Oh. And you didn't fill
Remember?
it with anything.
I didn't. I still don't bring that up.
Keyword for Forrest Fenn Solution by Darren from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Hi, my name is Darren. I'm from PA, Pennsylvania. Look forward to your shows from afar. Being from Pennsylvania probably will never be boots on the ground, but rather a dirty socks on the couch searcher. Oh, better watch those things. Anyway, what if keyword was water high? If you truly believe this, shouldn't you just look for areas of water high rather than getting bogged down with the rest of the poem? We already know we can't confirm any of the areas in the poem unless we find the treasure, correct? But it seems to me that the blaze should be fairly close to water high. You could go to all the areas you think are water high, look around for a blaze, and move on to the next area. Go to areas that are not that far of a walk from the road, and I think water high should be able to be found on Google Earth. Just begin it where water is high. What do you think? Anyways, thanks. Love you and Shelley. I think Forrest specifically said, if you don't know where warm water's halt is, stay home and play canasta, because you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it by knowing
Water's high,
Water's
Blaze,
High, or Blaze, or Homa Brown.
Homa Brown.
He specifically told us that. So, I would say
I'm raising the table.
needle in a haystack on that thing.
Yep. This one is entitled Poem Frustration. It's from Lost Horizon. I'm experiencing a measure of poem solution frustration and felt the need to pen a joke around that.
Oh, another joke.
His name is Andrew, and he's from Encinitas, California. So here it comes. I'm going to read his joke. I probably won't do it as much credit as if he were telling the joke himself. Someday, Forrest Fenn finds himself at the pearly gates being greeted by St. Peter. St. Peter says, "You the guy that's been confounding many of us around here? None of us have been able to figure out your annoying poem. Because of that, a meeting was held and a decision has been made that you will need to be sent back and be born into a family of an avid Fenn treasure searcher. You will have no prior knowledge of the poem or location of the treasure. It will become a passion of yours to search for the treasure."
Well, he said he wanted to take it with him, so maybe that's his way of
So, Andrew,
taking it with him.
my only suggestion is you don't give up your day job. This comedy writing thing, it's got to be better than that. It's cute.
All right.
Hit it.
We have an email with no subject from Jason.
Jason? My Jason?
No.
Oh.
Jason.
In the GB.
In the GB. Where's the GB?
Great Britain.
Oh, of course.
That's the +44.
I see. Hi. Hope this finds you well. Cheerio. I just made that up. I'm Go ahead and do a spit take. Everybody would have fun with that. Anyway. Hope this finds you well. I'm sorry. Sorry. You sure you're not from Canada? I'm sorry to bother you, but I've seen your videos on YouTube. That sounded funny. My name is Jason Curran, and I'm from England. I, like many other am hooked on the poem and its clues left to find Fenn's treasure location. I believe I have... ...
I'm getting the rooster ready. Go ahead.
Many have said this. I agree, but I can't find nothing like what I've come up with. Simple, elegant, so perfect. So if this treasure hasn't been found, and you want to be the one to find it, then my information could shine a whole new light on it. I think we should really speak. We really should speak. Email, telephone, text, all fine with me. And he gives his phone number.
Is that it? It doesn't tell us anything?
I like who he did a CC to.
We should talk relating to Fenn's chest at AOL.com.
It's kind of weird.
He made that up. We have no reason. No, we're not looking for the treasure. But thank you anyway for the suggestion.
Anything you share with us, we'll share with the world.
Right.
So just don't expect us to keep your secrets. Just saying.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
Upfront and honest.
Okay, this one is entitled WWWH. It's from Mark Tillinghast. Hello, Toby and Shelley. Mark in Florida. Oh, you know what? This is the guy that we had the conversation with on Wednesday. For your show, if wanted, I wanted to talk about warm water's halt as opposed to trout waters. Could this be Forrest's own life and the knowledge we need to begin our search. He's way up in the metaphysical, isn't he? Mm-hmm. He promised the waterfall and went there, and it was over for him. His rainbow will end in Santa Fe, not Southeast Asia, in Too Far to Walk, chapter 22. He added it was neither too hot or too cold. He went home 3 days later. As a military term, halt. He moved and has halted in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Should we have the knowledge to begin our search looking for a waterfall in New Mexico, someplace he found and reflected and threw stones in the water in New Mexico and not in Vietnam? He left part of himself there. Everybody who I knew in Vietnam left part of themselves there. He made it home. He may have reflected there a few times. A small-scale waterfall where you can sit on the edge and throw stones in. I wondered if we begin our search with the knowledge we are looking for a waterfall in New Mexico. Is the idea of where warm waters halt personal to him? Could be trout waters too? Could this start our search? I don't know. Mark. Mark, there is a website, and I'm trying to remember the guy's name. He's got a website, and the website is entitled Waterfalls of New Mexico, and he's documented all of the waterfalls in New Mexico via a grid map. And one of those happens to be, and one of the reasons we went there, one of them happens to be in the Toltec Gorge, which is where, as a matter of fact,
Toltec Gorge.
Toltec Gorge. That's one of our search. That is our search area in the Rio de los Pinos. Go ahead.
This is called Mike Money, and it's from Luke. Luke says, "Hello, Toby and Shelley. I called in yesterday and gave you the 9 clues to the poem. This is why I believe those were the 9 clues. As I have gone alone in there, and with my treasures bold, I can keep my secret where and hint of riches new and old." This is Forrest narrating to the reader, since he is a book writer, just kind of saying, hey, I got a secret to tell you if you can figure out my clues. Begin at where warm waters halt, starting point, and take in the canyon down, telling you where to go from there. Not far, but too far to walk. Put in below the home of Brown. He's basically telling you how to get to the location by using these key areas. From there, it's no place for the meek. Now, this is the location in the poem. That's why he says, from there, you reached the area of the search. No place for the meek, the end is ever drawing nigh. I know nigh is never ending, but I do like the idea of it meaning left, because no 80-year-old man with a 40-pound chest would climb heavy loads and water high. That's why he said there will be no paddle up your creek, because there is no way he would climb anything at his age and with that weight on him. Now, here's the mysterious clue. If you've been wise and found the blaze. I did say might be an ice patch, but in the middle of summer. I doubt that, even though your efforts will be worth the cold. So if the chest is wet and you're searching in the middle of summer, what would be cold? Let's say in Colorado, where we spoke, that warm waters halt would be the Arkansas River, because those waters are quite cold. Would they be the same kind of waters that flow through creeks? No change in temperature, even in warm weather. So if you somehow have to get wet, you would be able to feel that cold feeling that would be worth the effort. If you are brave and in the wood, I give you title to the gold. So blaze quickly down, cold wood, all seem to be in a category on their own. Everything from this point has been directional except for these clues. So if heavy loads and water high would go with effort, will be worth the cold. Does that mean that blaze and wood go hand in hand? Also, Terry Scant with Marvel Gaze is not a clue, because he just tells you what you shouldn't do. Like a piece of advice. I do have a prime location. The poem has only taken me to one location. I went twice. First time, snow was a factor. I timed it wrong. Second time was to scout the entire heavy loads and water high. Next time, it's finding that chest. Please feel free to text me anytime on any topic of information. Your friend, Luke, a.k.a. Mike Money.
Mike Money. We talked to him. Wow, that was a long... I need to address Sassy. The list is the I'm going to return with a treasure list, not just the boots on the ground list. So if you're going to be boots on the ground and You're going to come back with the treasure. Tell us what month, and we'll add you to that
But it's
list.
interesting to hear you're going out boots on the ground.
Yeah,
'cause
that
you
is.
had said that you weren't going to be doing that.
So, question from Jake Falker. If lots of people were within 500, does that point to a landmark or labeled trail, road, or path? Maybe a label spot on a map. I always felt that the 500 feet, the people that were within 500 feet were oblivious to the fact that they were within 500 feet of a valuable treasure. So that pointed to a road, a river where people were rafting down,
Railroad.
a railroad that they were riding on, et cetera, et cetera. Our solutions for those areas have been on the Rio Chama. Bam.
Jam-a-lam-a ding-dong.
On the Rio Chama. On the Rio Chama, it was the folks rafting down the river, which would put them within 500 feet of a prospective treasure. In our Rio de los Pinos solve, it's the people that are riding the Cumbres and Toltec Railroad 500 feet away. In our Yellowstone National Park solve solution theory, it was the people that were driving by on that thoroughfare in the northern part of the park. Just kidding. We don't have a Yellowstone theory. Okay,
So funny.
down another rabbit hole written by Guy, or as we say in France, Guy Ward. Hello from Winky, South Australia.
Winky.
Winky.
Is that where he's from, or that's his name?
No, his name is T.G. Ward. Guy
Yeah,
Ward.
but
Guy
sometimes
Ward.
people have nicknames.
No.
Like Money
Winky.
Mike Money.
No, Winky is a town.
Oh,
in South
Winky's a
Australia.
town.
Winky
They
is a
do have
town.
the funniest named towns in Australia.
Yeah,
don't
they do. I have my solve, not my words, his, as does everyone else, but can't go boots on the ground, so it is only entertainment. I'm using the Palm map and Google Earth, also being greatly entertained by your great job, Toby and Shelley, and other podcasts. A couple of questions, if I may. We have state borders for all but most southern limit reference points. Forrest said 8.25 miles north from Santa Fe, but do you know north of what latitude? So let me answer that. So we go. Forrest once said it was north of the northern border of Santa Fe. The 8.25 miles was measured from the northern border in Santa Fe. I don't know exactly what latitude. Maybe, where's Eric Schmidt? Somebody could look that up on a map and see what 8.25 miles north of the northern border of Santa Fe, what latitude that is. With so many looking, have you heard of any boots on the ground searcher meeting like-minded people on the trail? If so, what happened? Did they join forces, or a comical idea? Walk much faster in order to try to stay in the lead. We've never run into anybody on the trail. We have run into other searchers who, at the time, the other searchers were not searching, and technically neither were we. We just happened to be passing through, right?
We met that one woman in Osher Station.
Yeah, but we weren't searching. We were just having lunch. Actually, we were just going to the...
Right. We weren't out on the trail
Yeah,
yet. We were
yeah.
on our way there.
So I know there, as far as I know, nobody's ever said to us that they've met other people on the trail. And if they did meet other people on the trail, I'm sure that nobody started running directly to the blaze. That doesn't sound like something anybody would do.
George doesn't want you to play his voicemail.
What?
He says,
George,
is there
I
any way you cannot play my voicemail that I left?
promised everybody that I would play it, George.
The only way we can do that, George, is if you call in.
Yeah. let me just take a look at it. It must be really
Because
good.
people look forward to hearing from you.
Oh, he's giving away some of his clues. That's
Oh.
why. Okay, George, I won't play your, even though I promised.
You have to call in now
you
so
have to
people
call in,
won't
yeah.
feel sad.
Because everybody was looking
Oh,
forward
he says,
to...
okay, play then.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Metro says, no, Terry's scant search of a car shows him twice saying he was using my car. What and how much importance should I place on this? A great deal of importance. It is very likely he was in his car. But what you have to worry about is how he defines his car. I can't. So the only alternative to that is he was in a rented vehicle. But I can tell you from experience that when I'm renting a vehicle and I'm parked outside my daughter's house, I refer to it as my car. I don't refer to it as the rented vehicle in the driveway. It's always my car because that's what I'm driving. The aftermath. I'm also worrying how people will handle their disappointment when it is found and they are not the finders. Regards, Aussie Guy. P.S. I've been down so many rabbit holes, they will start to call me Warren. Rabbit Warren, get it?
Warren from, where is he from?
So, Winky, Australia.
Warren from Winky.
Warren the Winky from Australia, from Winky, Australia. So, I'm sure that considering the amount of emotional investment that's been made by hundreds of thousands of people in this search, there are some of them that are going to experience various forms of depression. I don't know necessarily disappointment. I'm sure they'll experience some disappointment because you know, there are people making plans with their lives about this treasure, so some disappointment will be experienced. I think it'll be short-lived. And then, of course, we've established a new company called the Forrest Fenn Searchers Who Didn't Find the Treasure Incorporated, so you can call us and we can talk about it. We'll just keep running our show and let people call in and tell us how disappointed they are. Because, of course, hey, we're going to be disappointed.
Evan Penn, I have you on the list as going out and finding the treasure this summer, but do you have a particular month you're going to go? And let me know.
So, yeah, I can't predict how other people are going to handle their disappointment. I'm going to handle it by staying in bed, hugging my teddy bear and crying a lot. So
either that or we'll have a party.
We'll have a party.
Yeah.
We'll
drink
have
up all the last of the booze. All the champagne.
We'll have we got a bunch of alcohol that I've been given that she hasn't been able to drink.
Kevin
so we
came home with another bottle of champagne the other night.
You're kidding me.
No. They were like getting rid of it from Southwest because they're shutting down their provisioning. So.
Okay, your turn.
It was Corbell. Yeah, so we'll probably have it for Jared's graduation or whatever. My turn. I don't have anything else.
You've read all of yours?
Yeah, I did.
Hang on, let me just
check.
check.
You had one extra. So you should have started. But.
Oh, how nice. All right. This one is from, did I read this?
No.
Jingo Bingo?
You haven't read it yet.
Is it true? It's the subject line, is it true one has been seen there? From Jingo Bingo, he says, hey, guys, have you or any searchers ever seen a Bigfoot while searching in New Mexico? No, I haven't seen one in New Mexico, but I've seen 3 in southern Colorado. And that could just be other searchers for that matter. So,
I got you, Evan Penn, early June.
Early June.
If anybody else wants to be on the list of people who are going out this summer and will find the treasure because they know exactly where it is, I will put your name on the list and just tell me your name and a month where you're going to find it and bring it home.
And then we'll read those at the end of each month.
Yeah.
Assuming of course, you don't find the treasure. But
so we should have been reading that tonight. Do you have that list?
It's in the G drive, right? No, because it's not the end of April.
Well, yeah, but Tuesday is. So Wednesday will be the first.
Okay, we'll read it. We'll read it then. I don't know that there was necessarily anybody at the end of April.
You know what they say about 1st of May? It's a song by Jonathan Colton. Look it up.
It's International Communism Day.
No, it's a song by Jonathan Colton. Oh. Look it up.
There are a couple of Mays. Mr. T and Davio by the end of May. So we'll read that next Wednesday.
Right.
Assuming they haven't found the treasure. Okay, are you ready for hellos?
Are you inferring that people don't shave in Colorado so they look like Bigfoot? They're just the ones on the football team because they're big guys.
They're big boys. They are big boys. Okay, here goes your hello.
Oh.
Hello from the other side.
Okay,
mine only goes up to Sassy at 7:09 p.m.
Well, that's because they were in the room talking for a half hour beforehand, so it just loaded up.
Does yours go any higher than that?
Hang on. I'm at K-Pro at 7:10 p.m. What did you say?
Like at 7:09.
Okay, go for
All
it.
right, so we're going to start at 7:09 p.m. with the names on the list. So if we missed your name because you came in before that and didn't say anything after that, then you can write something else and we'll catch it up.
Yep.
Here we go. Saying hello to the Sassy 1962. Davio's here.
It's really a little loud on this baby.
We have Steve Wayne. Ob Ord, also known as George.
Is George aboard?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
said
Did he
was.
say that? Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right.
Ross B. Hay. K-Pro is here.
K-Pro.
All right. And we have Tony Driver.
Or as we like to call him, Anthony Driver.
Who does?
I don't know. I made that up.
Okay. Odorous Gnome. Mr. Winger 1951. Kaboom. Missouri Dave is here. Realtor only takes 6%. Lol. Ha 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 ha. Heather Dawn.
Heather Dawn, I hope she's feeling better.
Okay, Larry.
Aaron Hurley, he says, ugh, so cringy. Must be the music. Sorry, we're just having a good time
Okay,
here, okay?
Larry.
We're a couple of senior citizens having a good time. Forgive
I'm
us.
not quite a senior
We're not.
citizen.
We're not quite. But I don't have long to live. I'm going to enjoy what few years I have left. So
Donna
thank-
Buckholtz. Bo Walker. Didn't we have an email from Bo Walker?
We did, but it was what? Oh, it was a photograph.
Oh,
So I'll share. Bo sent us another photograph of the area he's searching in, and I promise this weekend I'll get all that stuff done. I'll put it on the community blog because we already had our photograph up here in the background.
okay. BK space S says, I'm a realtor in California and I would never ever recommend you go on private property. It was silly they did that anyways.
I would tend to agree.
Okay.
Why did they block that?
Then we have Lavender Blonde.
Yeah.
Janet Langard's here.
That's one of the one I sorry.
Nate Mattis. Fenn was also raided and had the case thrown out because the accuser trespassed. The same would apply for the treasure chest.
I don't know that it ever made it to court, did it?
I have no idea.
I need to do some research on that, maybe, because
I
we've
guess
talked about
Nate
it a
would
couple
know.
of times.
He's the one that brought it up.
Yep.
Jingo Bingo's here.
Hey, Jingo Bingo, we read your email.
And Point Vlog. Jake Faulkner. If lots of people...
There is
you
no
read
N.
his question.
Yeah, and there's no
Falker.
N. It's Falker.
Sorry. I just inserted an N where it didn't belong.
Mhm. It's okay.
Sometimes that happens. Aaron Hurley is okay. Davio, I said already. C space MC. Jungle Cruiser, 1,000 years. The oldest road Rome built, over 2,000 years old, I think, is the Appia Way, and I'm pretty sure it is still in use today. Yeah, but they would have had to repave it many, many times, right? Drawing Nigh. That's a new name. The key word appears more than any other word in the poem.
Did I ever tell you that story about why the width of a train track is the same as a Roman road? Remind me one of these days, I'll tell you that story. Or if somebody knows the story,
When you
just
get
write it.
really, really bored,
Yeah.
ask him about it. Jack B. Nimble. With Fenn, anything is possible for the exception of private and tribal. Okay.
It is possible, but the question is, how likely is it?
Charles Chapman's here.
Oh, Charles Chapman, this makes me feel even more specific.
I thought I needed some cowbell.
May all the beasts come from the heavens and take us.
All right. Silver Lakes. Oh, dropped my pen again.
You're gonna have to get yourself a campaign out there, boy.
I'll get it in a
Bad
minute.
back.
I'll get it in a minute. Marty Bird's here. Evan Penn, John Edo, Tony Rusi, Sam Leno, AJ Rainville, Paul Young. The keyword is canyon. Only clue in the poem not concealed.
So let me just read this real quick. Redneck Express says, AGK, that was the case against Fenn for San Lazaro. Agents trespassed to get evidence of disturbing human remains, I believe. Yeah, like I said, I know the story, the 2009 story, but I think it deserves a little additional research.
Mike McConkle is here.
I thought I saw Cal in here, but I don't see him now.
I haven't seen his name.
He just came in a few minutes ago. I just
Jason Northface is alive. Is alive.
Is alive. He lives.
Born to be alive. McLovin is here. Who else?
Got it?
All right. Glenna
questions?
Friedman. That's
Hi,
him.
Glenna. Haven't seen you in a while.
Paul Young, I think I may have said. Rick Plank from Cincinnati is here.
Mm-hmm.
See, now, the reason I know that is because he always signed in as Rick Plank from Cincinnati for like the first 6 or 8 months. So I remembered it.
Yeah.
Sakar is here.
So I just got an email from. Hang on. Keep going. You can go ahead.
Wayne
So,
Ross.
From
Brian.
Anonymous Searcher. He says, add me to the list of people who think they'll find the treasure this year. I plan to announce something in late June or early July. I would say my confidence level is about 99.99. I don't want to give my real name, but my handle on Thor is Anonymous Searcher. So he's one of the guys. What?
I lost my pen. Oh, there it is. Way over there. Oh, my goodness. It went flying. Okay, Anonymous Searcher wants to be added to the list for June.
He says late June, early July. Let's give him July,
Okay,
just in case. Just in case he doesn't find it in June.
we'll put July. All
Doesn't
right.
find it until July.
Okay, Brian Heckman. What maps have a campfire blaze on them?
Well, anything in the state forest, because they're in the legend. You can look at national forest maps, and one of the symbols is a fire, a wood fire.
We have Las Vegas AC Dude
BLM maps do not have that information.
and Tom Gregory. And Hearts from Point Vlog. Sakar's already left.
What? Sakar was in and out? What happened? Did we make him
Guess.
mad?
I
Did he
don't
get
know.
mad and leave?
Dick Dastardly's here.
Dick Dastardly.
Jim Seary from Michigan. I think
That's it?
Craig Carter. Oops.
Craig Carter.
Craig Carter had a question.
Oh,
Popped up.
Craig Carter. Craig.
It's my life, it's now or never. And I ain't gonna live forever.
Oh, that was the one about Bigfoot, which we already talked about.
So, Jason Northface says he'll have the trove by his 44th birthday in October 5th. Did we have him down before that?
Who?
Jason Northface.
Oh, I don't think I had him on the
October.
list. I'm not sure if I had him on the list or not. October. Okay. So we have Sheila Draper, and she says, what is your thought on warm water salt not actually being associated with water? Totally possible.
Well, it depends how not associated it is. If you by not associated with water, you mean not associated with the temperature of water, then we agree. It is not associated with the temperature of water. If you can't help but step into a stream where your warm water's halt, then we don't agree. But everybody knows our position on the matter, so I won't bore you with that again. K-Pro, is Cow in the room? I thought I saw somebody talking to Cow.
About him, maybe.
Can you dip
They're
your
mooing.
toe in it? Don't.
Czar 334, Marty Bird. Did I say Hooley? Hooley's here.
She
doesn't have a song anymore. We're losing songs. Tamara Lamb from Connecticut.
You know what I should do?
Redneck Express. Do we have one for Redneck Express? Karen Werner.
Hey, Karen, the better half of Toby Fenn.
How do you know she's better?
Oh, you just
Maybe
have to
he's totally awesome. You don't know.
Okay, so if I said
He sent us a whole bunch of gifts and
Karen
stuff.
Werner,
so-
the worst half of
No,
the Toby.
you don't have to call her anything. You just say the esteemed spouse of John Werner. How about that?
Okay.
Then we don't have any like power play going on. So Karen Werner, glad to have you here. Jungle Cruiser's here.
Let me address this real quick before it goes out. True Believer says, AGK, can you address the statements some prominent searchers have attributed to Fenn, but no public proof exists, such as A, Homer Brown is not related to Trout. Fenn has never said that. And what was the second one? Ugh, I lost it. And B, Finder will be covered in mud. He's never said that either.
Joe Mazzocco and J.A. Street are here. And J.A. wants a White Russian. That sounds really good.
So
Let's have those.
Marty Bird says, have you done a show on the Forest and the 2009 raid? And if not, do you think you will? No, we have not, and nor do we think we will. We just feel like that has nothing to do with
Getting us closer to the treasure.
getting closer to the treasure.
Alan K says hi. Zapster, Cow Lasers, You Moo.
Hey, did Cow Lasers move?
No.
Oh.
I think they're all talking to him, but I don't know if he's in the room or not. Oh, Zapster's teasing.
Oh, here's an interesting question. I mean, somebody has to come. You know, people haven't been talking about lead searcher as much over the past couple of weeks. Normally, there's a conversation. Maybe it's in the forums. I don't go a lot into the forums, but Hooley says. Hooley said, well, I lost it now. Hooley says, love AGK and my song, but wanted everyone to have a chance. That is very gracious of you. And once I get around to doing that, everybody will get a chance.
I don't know what your excuse was this week. You didn't have a party.
I had to mow the lawn.
That took all week?
Well, no, but I had to plan for it. It's a planning issue. It's not a mowing the lawn issue. I mean, have you seen the size of that lawn out there?
Yeah. It's like 10 by 10.
It's a New Mexico lawn. It's definitely not a Virginia lawn.
So we have Joe Treasure Hunter.
Hey, Joe Treasure Hunter. So, I could have sworn. Las Vegas AC dude. Toby's video recording of Forrest Fenn at Collected Works is the best, filled with hints. You know what? I thank you very much for the compliment, but I think the Moby Dickens video is the one that I feel like is more an insight to Fenn. And the reason is at Collected Works he was fenced in by what's his name, Michael McGarity, and what's the other tall writer? What's his name?
Preston.
Douglas Preston. Yeah. So yeah, he was more free. He had the freedom to be Fenn, and he was less. Not only was he not protected by anyone, but he was less guarded in terms of his conversations with people. So I think Moby Dickens is probably more informative.
We have a muse in the craft room says, put me down for July. Okay.
So Jingo Bingo says, do you think Jason or you two, Jason or you two would go with someone if he or you guys were absolutely convinced 100% right about the solve? Repeat, 100%. I don't know how you can be 100% convinced without having gone out yourself. So that's one thing. So here's what we're thinking about doing. Tell me if you think this is an interesting idea. So when I took my grandson out to the state finals for the National Science Fair, all the hotels, Socorro, so they have it at New Mexico Tech, which is a relatively small college in a relatively small town, Socorro, New Mexico. So by the time Sean asked me, and she asked me to do this like the week before, because their plans had changed. And so all the hotel rooms are gone. So I started looking for an Airbnb, and I found one in a town about 11 miles south of Socorro called San Antonio, where the Bosque del Apache National Bird thing is. And I had never used an Airbnb before. I happen to like hotels and the fact that they take care of you, you know. So it was the first time I'd used an Airbnb, and I did some, you know, after it was a very nice place. What was interesting about it, you know, it was an old adobe in this old town. It was very quiet, very safe, you know, it was very nice, two bedrooms. So Phoenix had his own bedroom. And but the two things that I questioned were the fact that it had no internet and no TV of any kind, not even an antenna. But it did have a very strong cell signal, which he and I were both able to use to watch, you know, TV on our YouTube before we went to bed. The point is, so let me get to this point. So when I got back, I started getting messages from Airbnb saying, oh, don't forget to rate this. Well, don't forget to do this. And then they sent me an email that says, have you ever considered being an Airbnb host? And I thought to myself, no, I have never considered being an Airbnb host because I'm such a...
Because you'd never done Airbnb before.
Right, yeah.
This first
I
time.
just never thought about it. So I wrote them back, and it was a survey thing. I said, no, I had. What's the point? And they said, basically, they sent me all the options, and they have a new option called the Airbnb Experience. How about this? So I'm going to tell you what the experience idea is, and then I'm going to tell you what our idea about the experience is. So the experience is, instead of just showing up at the place where you do the Airbnb and, you know, staying 2 nights or a week or however it is and then leaving, the person, the host, can provide some sort of experience. And there's basically, at this moment, 2 kinds of experience we thought we could provide. Experience number 1 is you could come for a weekend, and we would teach you everything that you needed to know about starting your own YouTube channel and live streaming. So that would be experience 1, the technology experience.
Good for wintertime.
Yeah, wintertime ones. But the
'Cause
second
indoorsy.
experience is come out to New Mexico, stay with Toby, and then over the weekend, Shelley and I would take you for a treasure hunt someplace in New Mexico. Tote Gorge up there, Rio de los Pinos.
That would be a
And
good
so that
summer
would be
one.
that would be the cool experience associated with that. So I'm thinking about that. I haven't got past but they have to stay in your house. I have a spare bedroom. The spare bedroom has its own bathroom. You still have to go out. You know, you're not promising meals or anything like that. You still have to go out to dinner. You have to have a car, et cetera, et cetera. But I thought that would be a damned interesting approach to this. So, you know, those 2 experiences, Airbnb experiences, come to my house, and over the weekend, we would teach you everything you need to know, because we have our multi-million dollar streaming facility here.
Yeah.
You'd learn everything that you needed to know about building a YouTube channel and live streaming, plus a lot of other things, because there's a lot of other things that are involved. And then the second experience is, let's go treasure hunting. So wait till you see it on Airbnb. If I decide to do this and put it on Airbnb, I'll let you guys know first. And if you want us to go out with you and look for your treasure, just do the Airbnb thing. We'll go. How's that? Yeah.
So that's a thought.
Yeah, it's just I haven't gotten past, like, you know, where are we going with this? Toby, please don't let some fanatic murder you in your sleep. They can get a hotel.
Get over
Oh, we
it.
haven't gotten that far. Don't start scaring me out of this now.
Toby does carry, so he
I do.
goes to bed with his little
Yeah. Oh, it isn't a little boom boom. It's a great big boom boom.
and his big giant scary mask.
Yeah.
So, you know, people would be afraid to even go in there. No. He's pretty good about judging characters,
Yes.
too. If you were too much of a character, he might say, you know what, we're full that weekend. Sorry.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time learning to read people. So
Zapster says, cool tie, Toby. You must be getting close to the end of the ties by now.
nope, I'm about halfway through. So
Yeah.
we got along with it. The problem is some of them are designed to go with suits rather than shirts. So I'm still trying to figure out how to handle that because some of the ties are designed to go with a primarily brown suit, and I don't have any, since I'm not wearing a suit.
So I was watching those movies, Analyze This and Analyze That, and the mob guys, the mob guys, they had these shirts that the collar came down and hid
this part, the top part of it. Yeah.
Is that so? That was so weird.
That was actually a style of shirt.
Yeah.
Back in the kind of late 70s, early 80s.
Well, and
they had these
late
really
90s, early 2000s.
long collars. That was the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, what's that about?
Let's see. Are you done with the room?
I think so. Are they done with
Davia
us?
said, if I find the trove, would you like me to take Shelley and you to the spot? Yes. After you find it, and then we'll go with you. We'll be
awesome.
your official photographer. How about that? Or videographer, your choice.
And we'd even keep you anonymous if that's what you chose to do.
So if you're the person you want to document it, I will be your official, and Toby, what's her name, will be there with me, and we will either we'll document it in video form or photographic form, your choice, for no charge.
Music lyrics, hello from the United States of America. The whole thing, huh?
Okay, come on, I've got some text messages to read
All
here.
right, well, let's
You ready?
get on them.
Okay.
You do that, and I'll keep looking at this.
Let's go to the text messages. This is from Don from Canada. Has Fenn ever said that the clues would be close together as within walking distance? No, Don, he's never given any indication as to the distance between clue 1 and clue 9.
You forgot to play the texting thingy.
What? Oh, yeah, sorry. Just waiting for a lead searcher or a searcher says, I know where the treasure is thing. Texting, open phone, text time. Someone says, bring O2 canisters and the defib. I don't need those.
No, he's got a built-in one.
I got a defib right there, baby. And I don't have a problem with oxygen. I don't have that issue.
Yeah, he was born and raised in Santa Fe, so
Yeah.
he gets used to it pretty fast.
And I spent a good part of my life in the mountains. So, hey, we got one from George, and George said it was okay to play it. So let's see what about it he decided he didn't want us to play it. So this one is from our friend George.
Hi, Toby. It's me, George. I don't blame you for not playing all 5 or 6 of my messages. I'm sorry. This is the only one I'll leave for this week. What I meant by Weir Warm Waters Halt was not a body of water. Is according to Tiwa Indian legend, Weir Warm Waters Halt was where man was made. That was the beginning of man. And they say that Posse Unj, which is that prehistoric Indian settlement just to the west of Ojos Caliente or Ojo Caliente, is where man was made. That is Weir Warm Waters Halt, according to Tiwa Indian legend.
Yeah.
That was the brown storyteller Indians told that story. It's in their literature, and that's what I believe home of Brown would be. That Posse Unj. I'm not sure if I'm correctly. It's Posi
Winge.
space Oiunge. That was their settlement. So, Weir Warm Waters Halt, that's what I meant about it not being an actual body of water. It was where man was made at the beginning, according to their legend.
Yeah.
And that was from the brown storyteller Tiwa Indians. So if that clears it up, I hope that helps you. Okay, Toby, well, you have a good day, a good evening, and talk to you again soon. Bye.
So look at George doing all that deep research. It's Posse Winge. And it becomes
guess who just came in the room?
Calazas. Did he? Really?
Yes, he did.
Okay, I just wanted to... Cal lasers. Oh,
Cow
Tom K,
lasers.
AGK, when is
Cow
phones open?
lasers.
I have a song. As soon as we get through,
Cow lasers.
As soon as-
cow lasers.
as soon as we get through, is that their song?
I don't know. I heard it on
Okay,
his
this
show. I
is
liked it.
from Nicole Searcher. April 20th, Boots Stomp logged going back Mother's Day in May. Unfortunately, metastatic breast cancer took her in November at age 55. My mama will guide both of us. I'll keep searching June, July, August, September, October. The dancing in snow. I just really want to thank Forrest Fenn for I have learned so much about ecology and myself. Happy searching. She's from Colorado.
Get your mammograms.
Let's see. Here's your Gypsy. Oh, Gypsy songs.
Dee Dee says, AGK, Baby Shark says hi. Baby,
Baby
Shark,
Shark
do 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 do. Baby Shark, do 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 do. Baby Shark, do 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 do. Baby Shark.
Now, you probably wonder, it's because I have grandchildren that are, some of my grandchildren are below the ages of 3 down to 1. And every time I'm visiting, that song plays. And it's like entertainment. The moms and dads now know, oh, she's crying. Throw out the Baby Shark thing. And they just hand them an iPad and they play the Baby Shark thing. So I know the song. And then Shelley knows the song. Because, why do you know the song?
Grandniece.
Oh, grandniece. Answer call. We got
And my
that.
daughter, she loves that song. She's 24, but she still loves it.
Okay, this is Nate who asked about your watch last week. Thank you, Nate. What was I wearing?
The
Invicta?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
What else do you have?
I have a Mark Echo. I don't
Oh.
have just Invictas.
Yeah. I don't have any more Rolexes.
This is Nate. Don't even bring that up. The lawyer got him. Well, he didn't get him, but this is Nate who asked about your watch last week. I really wanted to chime in on the topic of what the heck did he say topic. Can you reserve some time tonight for me? I have one specific quote from Fenn that has me baffled and frustrated. Nate, when you hear me say lines are open, give me a call. And I know your area code is 320, so I'll try. The problem is it gets pretty competitive for that time, Nate.
We
So.
have Clueless Geezer in the house.
Oh, Clueless Geezer. He was
And Tom K.
Tom K.
I'm drawing. Oh, I said that one.
Tom K. of Pink Flamenco.
And
Fame.
all will be well.
So this is from Jordan from Ohio. Hi, Toby-san and Shetty. Oh, I should say this right. Hi, Toby-san and Shetty-san. Would his generalization of north being the top 178 degrees hold true? The top 178 degrees hold true to define the other cardinal directions in 178 degree blocks? If so, then would his comment that the blaze may not be facing any of those directions, northeast, south, or west, contradict your assessment of him ruling out the 4 radials? Love the show. Thank you both for sharing your intellect, and Shelley for keeping the Tobster wrangled.
Wrangled, are you?
He actually wrote that. That's a compliment to both me and you.
I'm a Toby Wrangler.
I'm a Toby Wrangler, and I need wrangling, apparently.
I want to be a Toby
Yes,
Wrangler.
by that definition, it would rule out the assumption I made today, but it sounds like a big stretch to me. If you did it in those 178, and what he's talking about is north are all the radials from, let's see, so it's 270, from 271, and Fenn said this once. Fenn talked about this. Somebody asked him, what do you mean by north? And he responded by saying it's anywhere between 271 and 89, which is what this gentleman is referring to. That the radials are all based on chunks, these 178 degree chunks.
Jake Falker wants to know, would knowledge of Native American Indians be considered specialized knowledge? I have limited knowledge of such.
I suppose it would, but I'm not sure that it's necessary to find the treasure. So, yes, I agree with you. It is specialized knowledge, but I don't think it's necessary to be able to find the treasure.
Chris Luce, do you think the treasure's still out there?
There is no clear and convincing evidence that the poem has been solved or that the treasure has been found or recovered. That's all we can say. There is no evidence. So this is from Davio22, and he starts it. Oh, it's a voicemail. Yay, Davio.
Mr. T, wait
Wait,
till
wait,
the
wait.
end of the show.
Okay, why?
This
Mr.
is
T?
Davio22 out here in the wilds of California saying much love to everybody out there in the search community. I just wanted to say hello to Toby and Shelley, my captain and Tennille of the search community. It is great to be on Shelley's list of searchers. Hopefully I will be on the extremely short list of treasure finders. That's right. Hopefully soon the Davio booty retrieval team will be on tour. And I can't wait to spread the word on your channel. And much love to everybody out there. I just called to say hi and love you all. Be well, be safe. Be well and be safe.
Be well and be safe.
Davio out.
All
Davio
right,
out.
very good.
So isn't Tennille the one?
Love will bring us together.
No, isn't she the one that died from not eating? What do they call it? She was
Anorexia?
Yeah, anorexia.
I don't know.
Was that
No,
Captain
no,
or
no,
Tennille?
no, no. That was the Carpenter girl.
Okay,
Karen
the
Carpenter.
Carpenters. Karen Carpenter. Okay. Captain and Tennille. Huh?
Love will bring us together.
James from Texas. Has Fenn mentioned any special places in New Mexico? He has listed many in Yellowstone area. No, the only thing they ever mentioned was in Too Far to Walk when he talks about going fishing with his daughter on the Pecos.
Debbie Teal is here.
Hey, waha! Let's get not to get too cringy. We'll try-
I bet
we'll
my
try
son
not
would
to
be
get-
cringing if he was watching
Yeah,
mom dance around on
we'll
TV.
try not to get
Oh,
too
God,
cringy.
don't do that, Mom. Cringe.
Cringies. No, he has not mentioned anywhere near as many places in New Mexico that happen to be in the outdoors, as opposed to like his gallery, as he has in Yellowstone or in Wyoming. New Mexico is a distant third in
Paul Wood is here.
that. By the same token, he's never mentioned anything in Colorado. So.
Virginia man.
Did I get banned? Who is this? I don't know who it is. Did I get banned from your live chat? I'd sure like to know why. I love you guys. Shobi and Telly are awesome, but I am not sure why you changed your names. I miss Cynthia too. I was like,
Why did we
this is from a
change our
song
names?
from another planet. I miss Cynthia too. Where is she? Is she already boots on the ground? Do you know? I don't think she's boots on the ground. What day is this? April? No, she's not yet boots on the ground. She's a clever gal. If I don't find it first, she will think Vegas should keep odds on Fenn sites and lead searchers. See you guys at the next function in the Junction. So they didn't leave a name, so I didn't. I don't know.
We don't know if you're banned or not until you tell us who you are.
You have to give us your name. Okay, John, North Colorado. I spent the last weekend boots on the ground in Glenwood Springs. Strong feeling, lots of trails, caves, waterfalls, wildfires, Ute Indians. Captain Kidd shines light on things. Glenwood Springs, very rich, artsy place. I bet Forrest flew there more than once. I was on the theory of Doc Holliday, but Fenn says not buried in a cemetery. Would like someone to give me someone to collaborate and give me a reason to go back to search. Thank you. And he gives me his email. So if anybody's interested in collaborating with our friend John from Northern Colorado, who's searching Colorado around the Glenwood Springs area, send me an email message and I will forward that to our friend
And
John.
in the title, you can put Craigslist.
Wait a minute.
Every time somebody says
wait. So I can do this. So if you want to collaborate with this gentleman, send him an email at gt350charlie. Let me start that over again. gt350c@gmail.com. That's Golf Tango 350charlie@gmail.com. Sign me up for your Santa Fe treasure hunt.
On the experience, I guess.
Oh.
We're actually not in Santa Fe. We're a little ways away from
We're in
there.
Albuquerque. Actually, we're not
Not
even
too
there
far.
anymore.
Not too far.
Bernalillo now.
45 minutes. But anyway, every time somebody says Ute, I think about my cousin Vinny.
Ute. You have
What's
to
a
deal with the
Ute?
Utes.
These two Utes. What's a Ute?
What are Utes? Have a question a little bit off subject, but when looking for the treasure, have a question a little bit off subject, but When you're looking for the treasure and you get caught running a stoplight, would a police officer ever come to your car on the passenger side when there's no passenger? I'd love to call in, but I'm too tired. Somebody might make fun of me. We'd never make fun of you. Wait, why would we do that? So in New Mexico, if they're doubled up, if in state police on the highways, if they double up, and that only happens at certain times of the month, one officer will come to the driver's side and one officer will come to the passenger side and stand behind you. But unless you're acting really, really strange, or you've just smoked a doobie and it smells like marijuana in your car, they don't have probable cause to search your car. So just put it in the trunk and don't run red lights. And if you do run a red light, tell the officer you're sorry, you knew exactly what you did, and that you would like to get away with just a warning so he can just give you a ticket. But don't do anything irrational that would set him off. Or if he says, do you mind if I search your car? Say, yes, I do mind if you search my car. There's no probable cause. I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to give you any advice. I'm just telling you what I would do in the same situation. This is from 801. Hi guys, when did Forrest say that the treasure could be wet now? Ugh. Wow.
When did he say that?
Yeah, when did he say that?
Oh, I don't know. If you look it up on Terry Scant.
Yeah, go to Terry Scant and look up the treasure. Look up the phrase "treasure is wet," because if I remember correctly, it was like, I'm not even gonna try, but he was referring to the physics of it. So, didn't we talk about that this afternoon? The treasure is wet.
Yeah.
Oh.
A little
So
bit.
I don't know when he said it specifically, but go to terryscant.com. End of text messages. Now we can. Do we want to do this? They're kind of crazy out there tonight.
Well, I can read this. Richard Hunter says, the dust jacket of the Thrill of the Chase says, anyone can get lucky, but Forrest has also said that nothing about finding the chest will be accidental. So what role will luck play in finding the chest? Well, he also did that poem about poker, so that involves some luck.
So I can't imagine that you can find the chest without a little bit of luck. It can't all be skill. There's got to be some luck involved. I mean, hey, figure out where warm water's halt and tell me you can do that without having a little bit of luck. So is Toby telling everyone to put their doobies in the trunk? Well, I'm not quite telling you that because I couldn't do
Don't
that.
be smoking it in your car
Don't
when
be
you're in New Mexico because it's
smoking-
not legal here. It's
Yeah,
legal in Colorado.
And it's not legal to smoke in your car while you're driving in Colorado.
It's not?
I don't think so.
Didn't know that.
And it's not legal for them to search your car without probable cause. So,
23 Monarcha's here.
hey, he's back.
Ta-da! 808 Hard Worker is here. Says, walking distance from an airport? We are not walking our distance from an airport. We're a good 35 minutes from the airport.
Yeah.
And from the Santa Fe
Oh,
airport,
it's Bo.
45
801
minutes.
is Bo. He says thanks. Our friend Bo. Hey, you know what time it is? It's time for us to leave early. Thanks. It's been a lot of fun.
People are going, no, wait, I got my phone right here. I'm going to call you.
Okay.
Mark Connor's here.
Hello.
Hello?
Who's there? I'm talking. Hello.
Hello. Who is this?
You know what this is.
Wow.
Man. Somebody was ready.
Okay, so guys, I am trying like the Dickens to figure out how to lower that ring. No matter what I do, it stays the same loudness. Hey, you have reached Shobi and Telly. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's your question?
Toby, Telly, it's Nate
Nate.
from the text message here.
Hey, Nate. I'm wearing a Mark Echo tonight.
Yeah, you clearly have a different one on. The other one looked pretty neat. I am interested in looking into those.
That's the Invicta Global Diver is the model. It's part of the...
Down, actually.
It's part of their Lupa series, Lupah, Lupa series.
Let him talk.
Okay, sorry.
His turn.
Okay, Nate, go.
Sure. So this afternoon, one of the things I wanted to bring up was a comment that Fenn made about a transportation. On Terry's stand, the question posed was, quote, Forrest, you said you made 2 trips from your car to hide the treasure. Besides walking, did you use any other methods of transportation to get back and forth between the car and the hide? He responded with, Edgar, your wording of the question prompts me to pause and wonder if I can answer it candidly yet correctly. Were all the evidence truly known and I answered in the positive, you might say I was prevaricating by some definitions of the word. And if I answered in the negative, you may claim that I was quibbing. So I will stay quiet on that subject. Now, after reading this, if the answer was yes, or excuse me, if the answer were no, he would just say, yeah, walk the whole way. So to me, reading between the lines here says that there's something that could be considered transportation, but by some and maybe not by others. And I'm trying to think of what would fit the bill to that sort of definition. Do you have any take on this?
Well, so that response. So let's say Fenn was sitting in court, and there was a prosecutor asking him a question, and he said to Fenn, when you hid the treasure, did you use any other means of transportation to get from the car to the treasure? And Fenn answered the way that you just described he answered. The prosecutor would have said, Mr. Fenn, that's a yes or no question. And if he had tried to distract again, the prosecutor would have asked the judge, would you ask the witness to answer either yes or no? So what Fenn did with that long, very verbose and somewhat wordy answer is distract us into a discussion of, well, if he said yes, then he gives us one hint, and if he says no, he gives us another. He can't answer that question yes or no, because answering that question yes or no is whatever it is, whether it's yes, he did, and he happened to take an ATV with him, or had a horse trailer and he rode his pony out there. The simple fact of the matter is, it is impossible for him to answer that question yes or no without giving the people who are searching for this treasure additional information. So what he does is he puts up a shiny object so that we focus on the shiny object, and we have a big debate about, well, he could have answered yes or no, but he didn't. That's exactly the point. He could have answered that question yes or no, but he didn't. He put up a shiny object that, if he had been in court, would have been shot down by a prosecutor or the opposing attorney in no time flat. He did exactly what we described he was doing when we had our show this afternoon. He put up a shiny object.
So the question then becomes, if that were the case, why even bother answering the question?
Well, because however he does, he's made a commitment to answering all of these questions when asked. If you want to see a master at work, watch the Moby Dickens video and watch the number of times he doesn't answer a question. Well, he answers a question, but he doesn't answer the question. And then when he doesn't have a good response, he says, "Oh, little girl, you're a tiger," or whatever. What does he say? You're a dangerous little girl. He sets up the shiny object because he can't answer that question. So now what you're stuck with is Forrest Fenn should, in a witness chair, should have answered that question yes or no, right? So now you don't have a lot of choices. You only have yes or no. Yes, you handled your search one way. No, you handled your search another way. So it's actually very easy when he does this to go back and say, well, I'm stuck with 2 responses, yes or no. He's not going to tell me yes or no, but how does that change my search? What impact does it have on me, on the theory that I'm constructing, and what impact does it have on me being boots on the ground? Because he didn't answer the question.
The way I perceive the question, or his answer, was more along the lines of, to sum it up simply, kind of. I kind of did. So, for example, if you were to let's say he took an elevator. He didn't really take a mode of transportation, but he was still standing, kind of a thing. So that's how I interpreted his answer. So you're saying that your interpretation of his response was more in line of, I'm not really going to answer and just kind of give you a roundabout reason why.
His response, as far as I'm concerned, is if I were to answer that question yes or no, like you asked, in the way that you asked it, I would give you more information than you are entitled to. So you make up your own mind. Was it yes or no?
Sure. Yeah. Or no. Okay. The second thing I wanted to ask about, and I don't want to tie up the phone line too long, but I do want to get my question out here if possible, is the comment he had, and this has been talked about immensely, but the distance between, quote, his sedan and his special place. He said it was, I believe his answer to that was he walked a few miles, and a few isn't really a well-defined term, so it's hard to gauge what that really means. That being said, in his response, it wasn't quite clear if he was referring to a few miles being walked in total, or if he was referring to a few miles being walked in each direction. So four times a few miles, essentially.
Yeah.
Do you know of anywhere where he has been more specific on what his few miles represents?
Now, here's two things I can tell you about that response. Number one, it's another shiny object, right? And number two, Fenn, if you were to ask Fenn how many miles are a few, he will give you a specific number. There is nothing, he doesn't use, I think at Moby Dickens, he defined many.
Several.
Or several, right. At Moby Dickens, he defined several. He has a definition in his head for every word he uses. So when he says a few miles, there's nothing arbitrary about that response. In his head, the question somebody should ask Fenn, the next chance they get is, how many miles are a few? Because he has an answer to that question in his head.
Yeah, and even in his response to the question about the walking distance between the sedan and the special place, his response, he even says that he had to go look up the exact definition of a few.
Yeah.
So even then, he didn't he didn't have it available in his head what his arbitrary number of that would be. So it's an interesting thing to think about. And the reason all this is coming up in my head, and it's very frustrating, is that I have as you say, a theory, but it fits so perfectly, and it's not your traditional, what people call solves, but it's not a traditional theory. It is so outside of the usual solves that I've seen that it just goes, well, that would be a fun thing to do. So,
do we have your name on the list?
No, I haven't scheduled a trip yet. I'm planning to get out there.
Okay, so the minute you do, let us know.
But I haven't planned a trip.
Because from the scientific method, the next thing to do is prove your theory.
That is true. That is true. The only concern I have, though, was the transportation comment, because there is no sort of transportation in this particular one. But the other piece of this was the few miles, because in order to get from the sedan, in my theory, to the special place is actually quite a bit of distance, and by quite a bit, I mean 3.5 miles.
One way.
Ways.
One way.
It just fits one way, so it'd be 4 times that trip. And I look at that and going, and it's an 80-year-old man trying to hide something, carrying 20 pounds with him for 2 of those 4.
At altitude, at 8,000 feet.
Yes, and it's actually, you would have to climb, it's about, I think it's about 1,200 feet in elevation. and then of course he would decline coming back, but still carrying an extra 20 pounds two ways uphill.
Yeah, just think about it.
Do you think that's something that would be capable? I mean, do you think an 80-year-old man would be able to haul 20 pounds, up that elevation and do it in one afternoon?
No. I think that when you take into consideration that he was missing a kidney, that he had a bout with cancer when he was in his late 50s, that he suffered with the somatype associated with fighting cancer, that he's 80 years old, that he's carrying a 20-pound weight, the idea that he would walk 14 miles in total in an afternoon, because he said he did it in one afternoon, it to me is just not likely. I'm an experienced hiker. At age 40, I had been up and down the mountains in the Colorado, the 14ers in Colorado, and I can tell you, and the distances were not that great. The altitudes were different, and I can tell you that when I got back to camp in the evening after having started before daylight, all I wanted to do was climb into bed and go drink a gallon of water, climb into bed, and go to sleep. So you're talking about distances for an 80-year-old that done in an afternoon that are almost, I would say, in the mountains, physiologically impossible for him. I don't see how he could have done that.
Right. There is a trail part of the way, but unless he's hopping on a Segway, I don't think he's going to be finding a shortcut route to get there.
Agreed.
So,
that's the other thing. A normal walk, if you're walking on your street or around a track, a good walker is going to do a mile every 12 and a half to 15 minutes on a flat track. In the mountains, it's going to take you anywhere from 25 plus minutes to do 1 mile on boots on the ground in nature. It's just the nature of the beast, because you're not taking full steps. You're more cautious because you have to watch every step. And I can tell you from experience, if you're not watching every step, sooner or later you're going to trip. It's the curse of bifocals and trifocals. So
and the other part of this is that he did say that he did it one afternoon, and it was, quote, easy.
Yeah.
So
what's easy for an 80?
That's the
what's
one,
easy
that's
for an 80-year-old man?
I'm sorry?
What's easy for a man who's 80 carrying a 20-pound weight?
To pay somebody else to go hide it for him. That would be the easiest route.
Yeah, but then he'd have to kill him, because two people can keep a secret.
Well, maybe, who knows? Maybe. I kid. Okay, well, that's interesting. I was going to talk about the whole private property thing. The reason I brought that up in the chat was that I don't think he hit it on private property, simply because he was raided, and I don't think he would want to put anyone else into a position like that. So I really don't think
the rules are real simple. If it's buried on, it's as far as the courts are concerned, if it's buried on private property, it belongs to the owner of that property, whether you find it or not. There won't even be.
Exactly.
It won't even make it to the court.
Exactly. Yeah, he would have it. Whoever that was or would be would have everything thrown out exactly the same way that he did.
Exactly.
So. I agree. All right, well, I'll let your other callers get in. Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure, Nate. You have a good evening.
Your insight is always valuable. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So we had a question from Dick Dastardly. Did Forrest ever mention anything else regarding altitude? Why 10,200 and not just 10,000 feet?
Because I can give you my opinion on the matter. He's never mentioned much about altitude, but I think the numbers were the result of the fact that he was trying to address the folks from Good Morning America, and he was just trying to give them information. He was trying to give them something that they'd go away. Okay, there's a clue. Don't bug me until next month. And I think the numbers were relatively arbitrary, and that he knows that most of the Rocky Mountains are above 5,000 feet, and that above 10,200 feet or 10,000 feet, whatever it is, you start running, you're above the tree line, and you create a whole new set of problems. There aren't as many places to hide stuff. You've got to be healthy enough to get above the tree line, because at that point, you're starting oxygen depletion. You're going to get a headache. you're going to be thirstier. And if you're coming in from the flatlands, you're just going to want to turn around at that point because everything's going to be hurting. So I think I just have a sense.
It's on some of those maps too, right? 10,200.
Well, because the marks are every 100 feet, right? Or I'm sorry, every 200 feet. So it goes 10,000. The major marks, right? The major.
Because we looked at that once, right? The map that we were looking at, 10,200 was on there.
Well, there's the 10,200 foot mark is on either side of Toltec. We've got two mountains on either side of that. Okay. Jason
Dent says, do you honestly think anyone is close to figuring this out?
No.
No. That's why we quit looking.
No, I do not. There is no evidence that the poem has been solved to the extent that the treasure can be. Topo is every 200 feet. Yeah, that's right. Sassy.
Styansky's Selecta. Mark Echo forever.
Yeah, nice watch.
John Werner says your voice message box is full.
You know what, John? I think that's how they're handling our voice. I can assure you, our voice message box is not full, but I think that's how the system is handling the fact that I turned off call waiting, so it just cut you off after ringing. Does it actually say the voice message box is full? Because I know I can check it right now, actually, because I delete them. Yeah, see, or because I delete them from here, and so I think it's just the way they're handling the call waiting sitch. New call. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley.
Ringing.
Hello? Hello? It's not ringing. We're there. You reached Toby and Shelley. Who are you? Where are you calling from? And what's your question?
Hey, Toby. This is John Warner speaking from New York.
Hey, John. How are you doing? Toby Fan 3000.
All right.
The better half.
Yeah, very good.
He said she's the better half.
Oh, okay.
I have parents here, and she is the better half.
Oh, okay, good. That's very wise of you, John. So,
almost 35 years of marriage. I think I learned that much.
oh, you and that's how many Shelley and Kevin have, 35 years.
On May 4th.
Yeah.
I have all those, I have all that many years total. If you added up all my marriages, they'd get close to 35.
Yeah, they all count.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Hey, obviously first time calling in here, so pleased about that. Love you guys. Love the show.
Well, we're glad you like it. We're glad that you're faithful to the show. We really appreciate it. I mean, Toby Fan 3000. So
one of
we're
our
at,
moderators.
What are we now? We're at a little over 4,500. So you've been around for a while, brother.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So, hey, I watched the show today, and something kind of clicked in my head, and I figured I'd bring it to your attention here and just see what the chat room thinks about it. Last year, I made 4 trips out, and New Mexico is my search area. And in one of my trips out there, I was in an area that I was walking on the side of a hill, deep in the forest. There was pine trees around, and came around an embankment. There was rocks ahead of me I was looking at, and I almost stepped in a hole, which is about 18 inches in diameter. Mm-hmm. Now, what made me think of this today is one of your callers that had called in earlier, and he talked about bringing a sandwich and a flashlight, and the sandwich thing never really made sense to me. Yeah, I could understand the flashlight, but until today, the sandwich never really clicked until I thought about that hole and what I would do and what I should have did if I had a sandwich and a flashlight at that point. So the whole kind of startled me because I had really no protection on me. I'm out there, not in cell service. I didn't have a sidearm on me, no bear spray. I had dropped my knife down the trail probably, I don't know, 100 yards away. I went looking back for it, couldn't find it. It was, an animal trail. But when I stepped over this hole, I was immediately thinking, don't don't get too close to it. Something could be down there, right? You know,
Yeah.
'cause it's big enough that, you know, obviously something would probably make that its home.
Right.
In retrospect, I wish I would have looked in the hole, right? It reminds me of the hole, like, Too Far to Walk, San Lazaro Pablo, where, you know, the girls lifting up that flagstone lid, and, you know, there's this hole, and that's, you know, this little thing's buried in there. But so the sandwich, and that's what kind of brings me to this point. So on page 218 of Too Far to Walk, you know, Forrest talks about it, when that girl's looking down the hole, him and Charmaine, you know, they sit down and have soup and a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Which, okay, in the book, that's how he tells the story. But in retrospect, if I would have had a sandwich on me then, and all my trips out there, I never brought a sandwich on any of my trips. I'd bring maybe a trail bar,
Yeah.
or some apples or something, but I'm not the kind of guy that brings a sandwich.
Right.
But if there was something living in that hole, probably it would be a good idea to throw the sandwich down it.
To
and
see.
hear if you, I guess, listen to see if you hear a scuffle.
Yeah.
And then shine your light down there and see if the sandwich is still there. And then stick your head in there and look around, right? So I think maybe that sandwich isn't to eat, but it's really a tool to go along with your flashlight. So what do you think about that?
So I think so. I think it's possible, but there's some other experience you should take in with you, the knowledge of how animals protect themselves, because there's a hierarchy out in the forest of animals, and animals are like us. They have to figure out how to protect themselves. So one of the things that you learn when you've been out there enough is that if an animal is a hole digger, they will dig a hole and it will be fresh, and they will use it until it is no longer fresh, because that old line about don't poop where you eat, they don't get that. So they're constantly digging holes, and so what you can count on is for the animals that are digging holes, you can tell because the holes are fresh. Right. The second thing is a lot of there's a certain size at which animals become too large to live in holes, about the size of a fox and bigger, and they start looking for dens. And what I mean by dens is they start looking for places that are convenient and protective without them having to do a lot of work. So the likelihood that you would throw a sandwich down a hole and there would be a carnivore, assuming that you had made a ham sandwich, down at the bottom of the hole responding to that, I think you could have done just a flashlight. But look at the hole. You can always tell when a location where an animal has decided to reside for whatever period of time they're there is always fresh. If it's been pressed down, if it's not fresh anymore, if there isn't fresh droppings around it, etc., it is likely there's nothing in that thing. Now, I still don't recommend anybody go sticking their hand down a hole to find out, because there's other ways to do it. One way, of course, is to use your flashlight. Another way to do it is use your bear spray. Just spray it down the hole, and if there's anything in there, it's going to come back out at you, and you'll have some protection. At the same time, I don't think I'd want to do anything that would, if I see a hole, as you describe it, and it looks like it's been lived in or being lived in, I don't get close to the hole. There's no reason for me to do that, because I still believe that if Fenn placed the treasure out there, he put it in a place where an animal isn't likely to make residence, right? I don't imagine he's going to put it in a place where a grizzly bear is going to make their den. Because after all, his whole idea was to lay down and die next to his treasure at his special place. And so there is something very sacred to that special place, to Fenn. Not necessarily to us, but to him, there's something very sacred about it. And I think part of it being sacred is that it's not dangerous. Because he wants to share that place. He wants to share that place with us, right? He wants us to be someday part of that place. And he said, we may never understand why it's special to him. It's going to be special to us because that's where we found the treasure. but I can't imagine he'd put us in a place where we're, looking into bear dens and down foxholes and et cetera, et cetera. So.
And, the diameter of this thing was, like I said, about 18 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
I could tell that nothing was living in there recently.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't have a flashlight with me either.
To find out.
I was a little, but I was planning on the next day to go back to that area, one, to find my knife, and two, to look down the hole. But rain started rolling in and never got back up into that section of the mountain, so it was just too risky to get up there in the rain. So that was October, my last trip out there. So it's in the back of my mind. It's something that I thought about today when your caller had mentioned bring a sandwich, and it just kind of struck me weird, like the things Forrest said your show today. What did he say? And it's like, bring a sandwich. Well, what do you use a sandwich for? Really? I don't bring sandwiches in the woods.
No, we do. We will take food with us, and we leave the sandwiches back at the truck. What we take with us, like you said, is hiking bars. Cliff bars, things like that, because they're just more convenient than a sandwich. Although I remember one time we went out and we had sandwiches at our special place. Yeah. We wrapped some sandwiches and we took them to our special place. Our special place. Picture of it behind there. As a matter of fact, see that picture behind us? That is the view that if you were to be sitting down on a fallen tree that's very right there, if you sat on that tree and eat a sandwich at that spot.
It's an actual bench, though, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the view that you'd have.
Yeah, right. Looks very fenny.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks pretty fenny. Yeah. So if you were to look under the water, you'd see homes of brown, and you'd see some of those long, wavy green grasses under the water, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yep. Interesting. All right. Well, that's what I wanted to say, and I guess I'll let the phone lines open up here for some other caller.
Thank you for calling. Give Karen a hug for us.
Yeah, we'll do.
Bye-bye.
That's fine.
So Hard Worker wants to know if you carry a sidearm when you're searching for treasure in bear country.
I carry a sidearm anytime I'm in the forest for a variety of reasons.
It's more important to have bear spray if you're in bear country.
If you're in bear country and you fire a sidearm at the bear, assuming that you could hit a charging bear, that you've done enough practicing that you could hit a charging bear, you're only going to piss him off.
Or scare him more. He's already scared if he's
Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley. Who are you? Where are you calling from? And there's got to be a nicer way to say that, don't you?
Hello.
What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's your question?
Jeremy from Michigan.
Hey, Jeremy from Michigan. How are you doing?
Good.
So what do you got for us?
I just wanted to know what you thought about the location of the treasure. Do you think it would be in a remote location or somewhere that's not so remote?
We believe that it's, I guess, what you would call relatively remote, because he said it's a special place and it won't be stumbled upon by accident. So, or accidentally rather. So it is likely that it's relatively remote, but everybody's definition of remote is different. We don't think it's near human. He says it's not near human trail. It's not placed near human trails. And that the special place is special to him because he doesn't think you're going to stumble upon it accidentally. So I would, the definition of remote to me means, he says it's in the mountains. He also says it's in the Rocky Mountains, the mountains north of Santa Fe. So the implication of all of that is that it is not near what I would think of as civilization. And which is why and don't get mad in the room, we've ruled out Yellowstone Park, because for as wild as Yellowstone Park is, it's pretty much civilized, right? There's bathrooms and showers and camping spots and travel trailer spots and RV spots, etc. The places that we've looked, we've tried to make it as not and that's how we ended up at the Rio de los Pinos, because the Rio de los Pinos doesn't have any. It's not modernized. It's very primitive. There's no bathrooms. There's no fire pits. There's none of that. So there's no human trails. The only trails that are there are cow trails, and so or animal trails. So we think it's relatively remote.
Yeah,
We don't-
you can drive
Yeah.
really close to it because it's
Because of the
there's
forest
there's
roads.
forest road.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rough, but if you're not afraid of a rough
The
road,
spot that I have where I think it could be at would be in a remote location that you could get to with like a Jeep or like an ATV.
Yeah.
Or you can even can even walk to it.
Yeah.
But the thing about the spot is that it's across the river, and during early summer it would be kind of hard to cross.
Yeah.
But in late summer it almost turns into a creek.
Right.
And the spot that I think it could be in is like actually a picturesque scene that, you know, people paint or take pictures of.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it would be pretty crafty if you hit it in a little pocket that, you know, nobody can really get to because he did it at night. And if you were to do it during the daytime, somebody would probably be yelling at you to, you know, get away.
Mm-hmm. So you think Fenn hid the treasure at nighttime? Is that what you said, or did I miss
in
it?
in a popular location
Oh.
where people would,
Oh, I
you know,
see. Huh.
take pictures of it. So let's say you took a picture in front of this place that you didn't
Mhm.
think anything of, and you know, in 2025, come to find out you had a picture
Of the location of the treasure.
in the background of that picture. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? My son Jason always makes a joke, and the joke is someday somebody's going to be taking some selfie, you know, of themselves at the Rio de los Pinos or something like that. They'll go like, "What is that thing behind me there?" and find the treasure. So, well, that's an interesting theory. When are you going to come and look for it?
I've thought about it, but I don't know if it's worth, you know, risking a couple grand to go look for it. And,
Well, so by 2 or 3 orders of magnitude, it's worth. It's estimated to be worth $2 million. So don't you think $2,000 would be worth trying to find out? I mean, it's a gamble, right? Have you ever been to Las Vegas?
True.
Have you ever been to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I have.
So there you
Like
go.
to gamble.
Yeah, exactly. So you've been out to Vegas. You like to gamble. You've probably, you know, like all of us, lost some money in Vegas. So come on, go ahead, try that. What do you got to lose?
I just can't go by myself. That's my thing.
Oh, why can't you go by yourself?
I feel kind of stupid bringing it up to family and friends.
Oh
So it's
yeah,
kinda hard
yeah. That's crazy. They just think you're crazy, don't they?
Yeah, don't even mention it.
Yeah, well, wait. I'll tell you what. Wait for our Airbnb experience, and you can just come out, stay with us, and you know we'll take you out.
I think you're a little too far away.
Oh, too far away from the treasure, or too far away from you?
I think you're a state away.
Yeah. I don't know. We'd want to travel
And I
that
want
far.
to say something about the 200-foot searcher.
Okay, go ahead.
What if that's in my location? That would be, he could have pulled right up to that spot if it was late at night, and then just cross this little creek, you know, that's not very fast during late summer, and made two trips to this spot, and it would have been remotely easy other than the drive there.
Agreed. But how do you reconcile that against what Fenn said when he said, "I made 2 trips in one afternoon"?
What if it was, I mean, does he say specifically it was from his house?
He said he made 2 trips to hide the treasure in one afternoon.
And there's no possible way it could have been on a 2-day trip somewhere with his wife or anything or family?
Oh, it is possible, but that's not how he describes it.
Okay.
I
I mean, I guess it's probably like a 7-hour drive, so I mean, it would definitely be, you know, a day-long thing. So I guess I don't know.
Well, even that. Let's say let's say, because one of our, or not our theory, but a friend's theory was that he hid it right around Cody, and he used to stay at one of those hotels at the Cody, near the Cody Museum, and he could have driven out of there and gotten back in an afternoon, driven out of the Cody Museum, left his wife behind to socialize with the ladies, hid his treasure, and come back that evening for cocktails. So, yeah, I mean,
He always talks about how he's up late at night.
Yeah,
so
yeah, anything is...
at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm saying anything is possible, but you should do just a little bit more research about some of the things that he said about hiding the treasure, one of which was, I made the 2 trips to hide the treasure in one afternoon. I'm just suggesting that. Where are you going?
So is that everything?
Oh, okay. All right, sir. Let me take another call here. You still there? Oh, maybe he hung up.
Okay, well, Steve Gahagan's here. Does he have a
Steve, he does.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April and shut down in May.
And Hard Worker says, coming to the 4 states in about a week. Maybe we'll cross paths.
Oh, we look forward to it. Hi,
Yeah.
you know who this is?
Send us an email and let us know if you're going to be in New Mexico.
Sassy Sherry. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley. Sassy, what do you got to say?
I have a question for everybody in chat.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I would like to know if you had to choose any chapter in the book, is there a chapter that people feel has more hints for them to find than any other chapter in the book?
Okay, so did everybody in the room hear that? And I guess you want them to put it into the chat room?
Yeah, I'm asking people to think about that. Is there one chapter more than others that you feel you found some great hints, or that you feel is a starting point,
Okay.
super important above the others?
That's a fair question. So wait, don't hang up yet. So what answer your own question. What chapter do you think has provided you the most information? And then I'll answer it for us after you answer yours.
Okay, I think that it's starting the learning curve.
Okay, well, apparently you, who has found a treasure, and we, who have not, agree. We think one of the most important chapters in terms of providing hints is starting the learning curve. Jump-starting the learning curve. Followed by the next 2 chapters. Followed by the next 2 chapters, which have some influence, but not as much influence as jump-starting the learning curve. So everybody in the room, Sassy has a question for you. Which of the chapters in the Thrill of the Chase do you feel provides you the most additional insight, let's call it? Okay, is that fair?
Yeah.
Other than Golden Moor?
Yeah.
Other than Golden Moor, right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was just reviewing things and went over things with a different frame of mind and saw some real interesting things that kind of firmed things up enough for me to want to send somebody out there.
Yeah, no.
So I just want somebody else had a favorite chapter, that they're kind of holding on to for their theory.
Right, yeah. All right, well, you've asked it, and there's people starting to answer in the room. So you need to get back and see what they're answering.
Okay,
I like Minotaur's Flywater.
Okay,
we like
cool.
Thanks for calling in, Sassy.
Thank you. Bye, Toby. Bye, Shelley.
Bye. I had some questions come in. Guys, seriously, my voicemail is not full. It's because...
It's just going to send you to that message when you call while we are on another call, so it doesn't do that beeping thing.
Yeah, we fixed the beeping thing, but apparently...
But if you call after the phone lines are closed, you should be able to leave a voicemail.
Yeah.
So if you want to leave one for next time, you can.
Okay, Bugs Bunny has found the treasure in Pismo Beach. That's from 519. Oh, it's a YouTube video. I can't share that with anyone. Okay, so we got another 8 minutes before we close actually, we'll close them in about 3 minutes. So one more call. Last caller. We got a last caller. Make sure you call in and tell us what you're thinking about. Oh, look at that. All you have to do is say it. I just got 3 steps. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley, and you're going to have to turn the volume down on your computer or TV. Otherwise, it's going to be confusing for us. And what's your name? What state are you calling from? And what do you want to talk about?
Tom T., Southern California.
Tom T. from California. What's up, brother?
Tom K.
Oh, Tom K. I'm sorry. Oh, Tom K. Thanks for the pink flamenco thing. We went and
All right.
Finally found it. I don't know. Shelley had actually suggested that it might be there, and of course, not knowing better, I told her she didn't know what she was talking about.
He does that all the time.
Apparently, she was correct. So, what's up with you?
Well, if he can find that, you should find its treasure. Okay, I want to tell you.
Okay.
While you're wrong, and while everyone else is wrong
for
9 years.
Thank you very much. I've been waiting for 9 years to hear this.
I'd like to debate this issue with you because I consider myself a master debater.
Oh, master debater. Are you really a master debater?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
In 1972,
yeah,
Fenn opens his galley.
Yeah.
Times were tough and things were hard.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your goddamn Christmas card.
Right.
Peggy goes out fishing to bring home dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Did she ever take Forrest to her favorite spot? Hell yeah. Did Forrest go there on his day off? Sure. Did Forrest go her one better and find an umbilically attached place?
To him or to her?
Here's
the umbilical attachment to Peggy or to Forrest?
To Forrest.
Okay.
Here's the big question.
Okay.
Kicker. What is the DOB of Forrest kids?
What is the what? Say that again.
And DOB
Date of birth
of Forrest kids.
Okay. Yes. So I have that
minus 9 months.
Yeah.
Minus 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Was it during the summer of 74, 5, 6? I don't know.
I think his daughters are older than that. I think his daughters were born before they moved.
They were girls by the time they
Yeah,
moved
they
to
were
Santa
girls
Fe.
by the time they moved to Santa Fe in 72.
Oh, does he have 3 kids?
No.
Two
Two daughters, but they were born before they moved to Santa Fe in 72.
If you knew where Forrest is umbilically attached to, you wouldn't need to know WWH, HOB, or the Blaze.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. If you knew where Forrest Fenn's special place was, you wouldn't need to resolve the poem.
Ah, very good. Okay, how long does it take a flatlander to get used to the elevation of Santa Fe?
You could do it if you don't try and kill yourself and drink lots of water. You could do it in a day and a half, maybe 2 days.
Okay.
Because Santa Fe's only at 7,000 feet, so you're going to be in locations that are higher than that, but you can acclimate in Santa Fe at 7,000 feet. What I recommend is if you're flatlanders, spend a day in Albuquerque, then a day, maybe 2 in Santa Fe, and then go up into the mountains.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Thanks, Toby.
My pleasure. You have a good evening.
Yep.
Maybe we should just take some time off from each other. It's not you, it's me, it's what I'm going through.
Now wait a minute, just hold on.
Bye-bye.
Is this a fake hang-up?
Grizzly bear, I need more beer. This drives me nuts. Okay, guys, it's that time. We need a little, it's that time song.
It's that's life. I think that would be a good one for it.
It's that time. where we need to say goodnight and hope you have a great weekend with whatever you're doing. I don't know what my plans are. What are your plans for the weekend?
I don't know either.
No?
No. We could go see a movie, I guess. The Endgame is out, right? Is that this weekend or next weekend?
Is that one of those Avenger things?
Yeah.
I don't know those guys. That's unfair.
Oh.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Happy trails. Davio, good one. Happy trails
good
to you until we meet again. I am going to go get that. That's got to be copyrighted
Go do
someplace.
some ship fishing. What did you do? You shiprocked it. You didn't get your
I
picture.
didn't get my picture. I went up to,
Try
I was
again.
going to go get a drone shot in Shiprock, but I went on a Sunday, and it happened to be Easter Sunday, and the Navajo Nation, was having a sage race. All their young men were racing in the area, so I couldn't get my drone up. So maybe I'll do that. I still want to. So I've always decorated my house with my own photography, but I've decided in this house I'm going to decorate it with drone shots. So of New Mexico, the different areas in New Mexico. So
Jason Dent's going to give us more super chat to never sing again. Well, how about just each show? You give us money, we won't sing that show.
Good one.
It's like a
I like
subscription kind of thing.
Super chat. If you don't want us to sing, do super chat right now.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what you didn't get? Didn't you get that? Oh,
Yeah.
So
I got my song.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Didn't I?
Oh, I was trying not to be cringy again. Cringeworthy.
Who cares?
Let's see. Yeah, it's our YouTube channel. We can be as cringeworthy as we want.
So we're old and we sing. Who
Yep.
cares?
What was I going to do here? Oh. That's it. That's the one.
That's the one. That's it.
That's it.
Hey, everybody, listen out.
And
thank you so much for being here with us tonight in our chat room for our Friday Fenndango and for A Gypsy's Kiss. I'm Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby Younis. We had a great time tonight. We can only hope that you had as much of a good time as we did. We look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. we're gonna do another we're gonna do a theory. We're gonna do another theory. Maybe we'll do
another theory.
Yeah, we'll do another theory. We'll do it on Wednesday. We'll talk about it, show some pictures and stuff like that. How's that?
Yeah.
It'll be fun.